these are people who had come to the rally with a lot of hope. 29 is a huge number, is a significant number, which is why all of this becomes all the unfortunate. And like Sam has also been out, the fact that Vijay has a lot of delay in terms of addressing crowds. There's a lot of crowd that swells up every time his bus moves. So clearly, every rally is delayed by 4 to 5 hours. The fact that there's also been some sense of blaming of the DMK government, which rightly so, because this is the government's responsibility, the state government and the administration's responsibility to ensure that they know the kind of people who are attending, the number of people who are attending this rally, and also they take adequate precautions. That clearly it doesn't seem to have been done, and nobody seems to have listened to TVK Vijay's own advice to not really gather in huge numbers, because Gauri, these numbers are just crazy, and these crowds are completely unanticipated. When I covered the Trichy rally, I was telling all of you all that this is something I've never covered in my life, because the kind of crowds that I saw was completely unprecedented and something that I don't think the state administration was prepared for. But unfortunately, while the human tragedy goes on, this is also going to lead to a blame game, because the DMK was just looking for one opportunity to point the blame on Vijay's shoulder. And Vijay, of course, will be talking about how the administration has failed him and, of course, the people of Tamil Nadu. But that aside, it is the grave human tragedy that is in spotlight right now.
Vasudha, I was coming to just that this is exactly the inflection point, or that window of opportunity, for lack of a better word, unfortunately, that DMK was waiting for. And this human tragedy opens up that window for the DMK and politics to take over.
That's right, Gauri. In fact, you saw what TPS has tweeted. M.K. Stalin, the Chief Minister, has been quick enough to send Senthil Balaji. Ma Subramaniam, the Health Minister, has come up with numbers of 29 people being dead there. The Dean said that 10 people have been are dead, and of course the numbers are also sort of increasing. So clearly this is an unfortunate tragedy, and the people who are coming to Vijay's rallies are not just people, like I said, who are his fans, but these are also young people who are looking forward to having an alternative in Tamil politics, and they want to basically engage with his political ideas as well. So this is a setback for Vijay and also for the administration, because clearly the blame is going to be on the administration, and of course the fact that they've not been able to understand and ensure that their arrangements are adequate. But yes, from tomorrow, with 7 months to go for elections, we are going to see a blame game, and we just hope that the tragedy that happened does not really go into the background, because 29 lives lost is not insignificant at all.
Absolutely, that's a very large number. And stay with us, Vasudha. Let's get in Sam on just that, which is the politics of it. TVK Vijay, the actor, is a change agent. He's a disruptor. He's positioning himself as that in Tamil Nadu politics right now. Sam, how much of this, the tragedy today, is likely to shape up the political discourse in the state going forward?
It's quite early to say on that, because this could be seen at two different levels. One, as a failure by Vijay's team, that in spite of facing this kind of a possibility in during two other earlier rallies, be it the Trichy one or the more recent one in the central part of Tamil Nadu at Nagapattinam, they had really not made sure that the wait time for the crowd would be reduced, and there would be enough measures put in place internally to ensure there will be no stampede. Increasingly, many felt that he was using this as only a kind of a showpiece to show the kind of groundswell of support, perhaps to send a strong message that he would be able to repeat that kind of a watershed election results he has been claiming to bring about, the way MGR and Annadurai had done earlier. Secondly, this also raises questions on the preparedness and the involvement of police, knowing fully well that this kind of a crowd could gather. How much did they coordinate and work together with the organizers to ensure that a stampede-like situation could be prevented? So tough questions. How would this really shape the political narrative? That's something we'll have to wait and watch. No political party can afford to use it as a kind of an election issue to target Vijay. This could both, in a sense, showcase him in poor light, as if he could not really handle this well, or could also evoke a sense of sympathy even amid this huge tragedy. But certainly, the political parties would try to use this for the advantage. We'll have to wait and see what Vijay would have to say, be it now on his arrival at the Chennai airport or late in the morning.
And we are putting out just that update right now, Sam, that breaking news and updates that are coming in on this story, which is that TVK chief Vijay heads to Chennai airport and he will be reaching there very shortly. Updates coming in as far as this big story. And let's get in Vijay Muralidharan on just that in terms of Vijay, who is set to reach the Chennai airport very shortly. He heads to Chennai from Trichy. Now, we were talking a short while back, Vijay, about any word coming in from the TVK camp. This is the latest update that's coming in. Fill us in with the details that you have.
That's right. Vijay was scheduled to reach Chennai. He's on his way after boarding flight from Trichy. So I think he is expected to address press. He likely to meet press in Chennai airport also. Possibly he could explain what exactly happened. He might return back to Karur also. And Tamil Nadu government also taking all measures. We have to yet to receive official word from TVK so far. So hopefully we will get very soon. We are trying to reach them. Very shortly we will able to get. I think Chief Minister also possibly will go to Karur by tomorrow. Initial info what we are getting is Chief Minister might go to Karur tomorrow. We have to confirm the information, but other ministers and other top officials are already reached Karur. Even we just saw Senthil Balaji addressing the press in Karur about the situation, what exactly.
In fact, Vijay, let me interrupt you there. Prime Minister Modi has also tweeted on this horrible tragedy. He has condoled the tragic incident at Karur, and the update that's coming in is what he has put out as a message. The unfortunate incident during a political rally in Karur in Tamil Nadu is deeply saddening. My thoughts are with the families who lost their loved ones, wishing strength to them in this difficult time, praying for a swift recovery to all those injured. Well, Prime Minister Modi has tweeted and condoled the tragedy that took place at Karur. That's the latest update coming in. The death toll that stands right now is close to 30. Authorities are fearing that it may climb up further. Rescue relief efforts are underway on a war footing. Prime Minister Modi has condoled the tragedy. We await details in terms of what really happened, who was responsible, where did the failure really lie in terms of organizing or not anticipating any of this. Let's go back to Vasudha for more on this. Vasudha, Prime Minister Modi has condoled the tragedy in Tamil Nadu. He's put out that tweet as well. Even as we await the final death toll numbers, which authorities fear may rise further.
That's right, Gauri. In fact, this is a very swift tweet by the Prime Minister himself. The Prime Minister, like we all know, shares a very close bond with the state of Tamil Nadu, and he speaks about Tamil icons quite often. He quotes Tamil legends on international platforms, and he has an understanding of Tamil culture in a way that we have not seen a lot of leaders have. So clearly, this is a state that's very close to his heart. He has said that he's praying for those people who have been injured. He has condoled the tragedy and he's called it completely unfortunate. He's also called it a deadly tragedy. And he basically has said that his thoughts are with the families who have faced, injuries and deaths in this particular accident. But this also shows, this comes just minutes after Edappadi Palanisamy, the AIDMK, which is the ally of the BJP, of a significant partner of the NDA in Tamil Nadu, tweeted.
தலைமை மருத்துவக் கல்லூரி மருத்துவமனை மற்றும் தனியார் மருத்துவமனையில் சிகிச்சை பெற்று வருகின்றார்கள். இந்த சம்பவம் நடந்து உடனடியாக முதலமைச்சர் அவர்கள் மாவட்ட ஆட்சித்தலைவர் அவர்களுக்கும் மாவட்ட காவல்துறை உயர் அதிகாரிகளுக்கும் எனக்கும் தொடர்பு கொண்டு உத்தரவிட்டு உடனடியாக மருத்துவமனைக்கு நேரில் சென்று கூடுதல் மருத்துவர்களை வரவழைத்து உடனடியாக அவர்களுக்கு தகுந்த சிகிச்சை அளிக்க வேண்டும் என்று முதலமைச்சர் அவர்கள் உத்தரவுகளை வழங்கினார்கள். மாண்புமிகு பள்ளிக்கல்வித்துறை அமைச்சர் அவர்கள் சுகாதாரத்துறை அமைச்சர் அவர்களையும் உடனடியாக நேரில் செல்வதற்கு உத்தரவிட்டு அவர்கள் இப்போது வந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். நாளை காலை முதலமைச்சர் அவர்கள் இங்கு நேரில் வருகை தந்து இந்த பாதிக்கப்பட்ட மக்களை சந்திப்பதற்காக வருகை தர இருக்கின்றார்கள். எனவே இருப்பது 42 பேர், 46 பேர் தனியார் மருத்துவமனையில், 12 பேர் மாவட்ட மருத்துவக் கல்லூரி மருத்துவமனையில் சிகிச்சை பெற்று வருகின்றார்கள். நம்முடைய மாவட்ட மருத்துவக் கல்லூரி மருத்துவமனையில் பணியாற்றக்கூடிய அனைத்து மருத்துவர்களும் இப்பொழுது உடனடியாக பணிக்கு வரவழைக்கப்பட்டு சிகிச்சை அளித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றார்கள். கூடுதலாக நாமக்கல் மற்றும் சேலம் மாவட்டங்களிலிருந்து மருத்துவர்களை வரவழைப்பதற்கு உத்தரவிடப்பட்டு இன்று இரவு அவர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் வந்து சிகிச்சை அளிப்பதற்கு வருகை இருந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்.
எவ்வளவு மெடிக்கல் டீம் போட்டிருக்கோம் சார்? ஏன்னா மெடிக்கல் காலேஜ்ல குறிப்பிட்ட அளவு தான்
இருப்பாங்க. எல்லா டாக்டர்ஸும் இப்போ டியூட்டிக்கு வந்துட்டாங்க. கூடுதலாக நாமக்கல் மற்றும் சேலத்திலிருந்து கூடுதல் மருத்துவர்கள் வந்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. தேவையான அளவுக்கு மருத்துவ மாத்திரைகள் உபகரணங்கள் எல்லாமே இருக்கு. மருத்துவர்களும் இருக்காங்க. பாதிக்கப்பட்டவங்களுக்கு தகுந்த சிகிச்சை மிக வேகமாக.
Okay, that was Senthil Balaji. We are going to wait for translation from that Tamil soundbite of Senthil Balaji in terms of his first statement that has come out. Remember, he was asked by the Chief Minister to rush to the spot. He is from Karur, and which is why Chief Minister Stalin had said that he's instructed the former minister Senthil Balaji to reach the spot and ensure that all medical treatment is provided to the people who fainted due to the overcrowding and ensure that they are all admitted to the hospitals. He's there to oversee administrative machinery that has swung into action and ensure that things move on a war footing. Sam Daniels with us on the broadcast. Sam, go ahead, translate first of all what exactly Senthil Balaji said there.
One, Senthil Balaji says 46 people are in hospital, they are being treated, and that Chief Minister M.K. Stalin asked him immediately to rush to the hospital to extend all possible help. Doctors have been summoned, doctors from neighboring districts also have been asked to come there. Tomorrow, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin is visiting the hospital. At the moment, he's not saying any numbers in terms of loss of lives to the extent I listened to him, but he has made these three important points.
Okay, so tomorrow is when the Chief Minister will visit the spot where this tragedy took place. Extremely significant. 46 people are right now in hospital after that deadly tragedy, that tragic tragedy unfolded at Karur. So extremely significant what Senthil Balaji said there. In terms of updates that are coming in from what the administrative machinery is now working, the next steps from here on, Sam?
Their immediate priority would be to ensure those who are injured are being treated best possible to be given to them so that there's no more loss of life, and to ensure that more importantly, with elections coming up, a protocol as the Madras High Court had suggested in terms of common uniform guidelines to ensure safety at these public meetings to be ensured. Thirdly, more importantly, an impartial probe to make sure what went wrong, whether there were any lapses both by the political party TVK and by the police in terms of security measures, in terms of enough deployment of police, in terms of preparedness. All these ought to be investigated so that this does not repeat in the upcoming election season. And we await Vijay to land at Chennai airport and to brief the press in terms of what he has to say. But certainly this is a huge setback for Vijay, who has been campaigning over the last few weeks, especially on Saturdays, reaching out to the district headquarters one after the other. He had drawn a program till December, and this was in fact observed by the Madras High Court recently, particularly after the Trichy huge public rally that brought the entire city to a grinding halt. It took 6 hours for him to reach the rally venue, as hundreds of, in fact thousands of party cadre had surrounded his convoy from the airport to the rally venue, which would have otherwise taken 20 minutes, took 6 hours. And this became a pattern. Almost at every public meeting, he was behind the schedule up to 5 to 7 hours. And that again, being a weekend, large number of people were able to come, including little children. And this was particularly pointed out by the Madras High Court as well, asking the active politician to instruct the cadre, particularly pregnant women, those with children, elderly and the disabled, not to come. But this was largely followed in defiance. And although it became a political issue with TVK blaming the ruling DMK of deliberately imposing conditions which they claim are practically impossible to follow. The state government claim that it's their responsibility to ensure that law and order is prevailed and the safety of those attendees are ensured. And that's why they claim that they impose these conditions, and they say it's uniformly done to all political parties, including the Prime Minister's roadshow last year in Chennai. But the TVK claimed that they are being targeted because the ruling DMK is politically scared about the huge following he has, and they're trying to deliberately create obstacles. It's in this context, this particular tragedy ought to be seen, raising questions on both sides in terms of preparedness, in terms of lapses, which only a transparent, impartial investigation could bring out the truth.
Absolutely, we will wait for that. But for viewers tuning in right now, what they are seeing on their screens are those visuals from Karur in Tamil Nadu, where there was a rally of the TVK chief. He arrived about 6 hours behind schedule. He arrived 6 hours late. Many say, and the allegation is that allowed the crowds to get more dense, upwards of 30,000. There was a complete collapse of crowd control measures and a collapse of the administrative machinery that led to the tragedy unfolding in Karur, where 30 people are dead, even as updates are coming in terms of relief rescue operations. Chief Minister Stalin will be visiting Karur tomorrow. Updates are coming in. Let's get in my colleague Veera Raghav joining me live on the broadcast as well for his perspective on this tragedy that's coming to life. Veera, you've been tracking this story, and as details are tumbling out, more questions are also emerging as to how really did this happen, more so in the wake of a High Court observation that said that how is it that TVK chief will ensure that crowds are controlled and things do not spiral out of hand?
This is an enormous tragedy. Absolute enormous tragedy, because the scale that we're talking about in terms of 30 deaths is absolutely tragic. One of the worst that we've seen in such crowd control measures. Having stated that absolutely unequivocally, I think there is going to be a political exchange that's going to play out of it, unfortunately. But the question that needs to be raised is it Vijay's responsibility to control the crowds, or is it going to be the administration's responsibility to control the crowds? They had given their permissions, they had given their plans, everything was put in place. So it's the question of whether the administrative machinery had enough measures there. Is it even possible for a star of that scale, when he enters the political field, when he goes to an event like this, to have the kind of protocols that need to be placed? Was it there? So several important questions that need to be raised. Every Saturday we've been having events so far. We've not had such untoward incidents. You've had minor incidents so far. The crowds were expected. Let's not forget that this kind of crowds were expected. The question of what really unfolded there needs to be categorically investigated, and whether everyone followed what was adhered to as the plan. Because most important, and one needs to say, the onus is on everyone as far as the responsibility is concerned, because when somebody breaks plan and breaks protocol, it can result in a situation of this nature. Obviously, there needs to be thorough investigation into this matter. Several questions will have to be raised. Unfortunately, this will result in a political exchange that will play out. There will be question marks over further Vijay events every Saturday, but he has entered politics and he has the right to campaign. It is up to the administrative machinery to ensure that there is absolute crowd control measures. What happened here, if there were any, if the administrative machinery followed all norms, if Vijay adhered to the schedules that were given to him, all these things will be matter of scrutiny at the moment. But an enormous tragedy of scale that we've not seen even in other events across the board of this nature at the moment. So it's quite disturbing.
Indeed it is, and as details are coming in right now, Senthil Balaji has said that 46 people are admitted in hospital right now. Chief Minister is monitoring and will visit the site tomorrow. Now, Veera, the other question I want to ask you is that before this rally, the one that was at Trichy was attended by several NDTV colleagues. Vasudha was there, Sam was there. And the sense everybody got was that Vijay's rallies attract very large number of people. A, he's a disruptor into Tamil Nadu politics. And B, he's a big star. And there is that star factor as well. Should that have been taken into account by the administrative machinery to better put in place crowd control measures?
Oh, absolutely. It was taken into account. It should have been taken into account. Look, this is not the first of his rallies, right? He's had the one in North Tamil Nadu, then he had the one in Madurai, then he had the one in Trichy, he had the one in Tiruvarur, he had the one in other parts, and this is not the first of the rallies. The question is that this will have to be investigated very closely. The question is that whether every protocol was put in place, because this is not something that was planned in a hurry. It was known very well that he was going to have, and he is going to have, every Saturday meeting. Did the administrative machinery put all the protocols in place that was necessary? It was anticipated and expected that there would be crowds. A. B, did the organizers and did Vijay himself adhere to all the schedules that were given by the administrative machinery? Was there something that went awry? Because in events of this nature, it can, there are multiple factors that play. One is the heat, the other is perhaps natural factors, the other is crowd control measures. It's about the amount of people who are coming in. Was everything put in place? So there will be multiple questions that need to be raised in terms of the procedures, what exactly happened in terms of timeline. Look, but as you point out, it's not the first of his rallies. So obviously there were measures that were taken in. No one can say that, look, it was sudden and it just happened all of a sudden. It's been playing out for the last many weeks in Tamil Nadu every Saturday. What's more important is that there will be a serious political exchange that will play over it. Now, Vijay is a major star, but he has the right to be a politician and he's got the right to campaign. Now, how you're going to control the crowds has to be the administrative responsibility. You cannot curtail Vijay's right to campaign, but at the same time, Vijay cannot expect that the administration is responsible for anything that happens at that moment. So it's a collective responsibility. One has to very closely watch and have the details of what really happened there at Karur before deciding on who is to blame for this.
The blame game is going to unfold and will keep coming to light, even as the focus right now, viewers, for NDTV should be and is on the immediate next steps in the wake of that terrible tragedy that occurred at Karur. Now, viewers tuning in right now, what happened today was at Karur, there was a rally of TVK chief actor Vijay. He is on a statewide campaign trail, so to say, and he arrived several hours later. Crowds had become more dense by then, and around 7:45 is when several people broke those barricades to come near the actor, and that is when a stampede-like situation unfolded. Let's get in Sam Daniels for more details on this story, even as reactions are coming in. The Prime Minister has reacted, Adapadi Palanisamy has reacted. The first reaction came in from the Chief Minister, who's ensured that the entire administrative machinery has swung into action. Even as Sam, as Veera was pointing out, as Veera Raghav was telling that Vijay has all the right to campaign. He is campaigning, and as far as administrative measures are concerned, the crowd control measures are concerned, that is the responsibility of the government of the day, and that is where the failure has happened.
Absolutely. He, as a politician, although he being an actor with a huge cult following, that cannot be an excuse for the police to deny permission. But that's exactly why, taking into account the large crowds expected, that the police say they had imposed 23 conditions to make sure everything would be under control. Important of them would be the convoy should not be followed by the party cadre. There cannot be any public celebrations, grand celebrations, no bursting of crackers, no rising on treetops, building tops, on electrical installations, and more importantly, asking pregnant women, children, disabled, and the elderly to not come to these locations. But this was largely followed in defiance in a sense, and police, that's why I had said that they do everything possible to ensure safety, but how much can the police control and how much can Vijay ask people not to come, or should he at all ask people not to come? How much of a responsibility should police take to ensure that they provide the required forces to ensure, to avert this kind of tragedy? All these are tough questions. Only a proper, impartial, transparent investigation would be able to identify, in the given context of the conditions given, how much was followed, how much was defied, and how much police had involved themselves to make sure the meeting venues are absolutely safe, and how much they had put in place measures to avert these kind of tragedies. All these can be answered. But till then, it's going to be an exchange of words between TVK or other political parties, depending on which side of the alliance or political divide they are in. But at the moment, the ruling government, the DMK, has said they are investigating. The chief minister is rushing there. Local ministers from neighboring districts have been summoned. Authorities, doctors have been summoned from both within and from outside the districts, and we'll have a clarity only after a thorough investigation is done. But all eyes will be on what TVK chief actor Vijay himself would have to say. He's expected to land at the Chennai airport any time, and that will be very, very crucial. How the TVK looks at this major tragedy, even as Vijay has been doing this campaign every Saturday, this being the third week of such a campaign.
What actor Vijay will say when he lands at Chennai airport. And viewers, you'll get those details, updates right here first on NDTV. We've been tracking this story in all aspects and all developments of that, breaking it first for you. What you're seeing right now on your screens are visuals from the rally where unfortunately a stampede-like situation unfolded with 30 people feared dead. Details are yet to come in as to what really happened. Politics is likely to take center stage. Actor Vijay is a disruptor in Tamil Nadu politics. He's on a statewide campaign tour, and this is the third of his rally, which has been taking place on a Saturday. And in the previous two rallies as well, there were large crowds. Should there have been enough of a signal for the administrative machinery to ensure adequate crowd control measures were in place or not is the larger question. We await for those details, even as we are getting you all those latest updates as far as where relief efforts are right now. And in fact, let's get an update on just that, the relief efforts. Sam, if you could walk us through in terms of the latest updates that are coming in from the state government, from the local authorities as to where things stand right now in terms of ensuring aid is being provided for, people are being in hospital and being attended to, and latest coming in there.
To begin with, we understand from the local MLA and former Minister Senthil Balaji that at least 46 people are being treated both in government as well as private hospitals in Karur, those who suffered in that stampede at the public rally by TVK chief actor Vijay. Secondly, doctors have been summoned from within and from neighboring districts to ensure that enough medical care is given to all those who are injured. Thirdly, ministers both from Karur, neighboring districts of Trichy have been summoned, including the health minister who's rushing from Chennai. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin is visiting Karur tomorrow to meet those who are injured, perhaps to pay tributes to those families who lost their lives. And the larger question, what went wrong? So far, what we understand from senior police sources is that around 30,000 people had gathered at that rally in Karur. Vijay himself had come more than 6 hours late because his entire trip, including his first program at neighboring Namakkal, went horribly behind the schedule because of the massive crowd, and that paved way for large crowds gathered. Police at this moment say a fall at one section of the large crowd at his rally triggered a stampede. Initially, people thought it was a case of people fainting because of the long wait and dehydration, but later it became clear it was a case of stampede. Many were rushed. Initially, police said 10 did, 20.
In fact, Sam, we're speaking about updates with regard to the responses from the administrative machinery. There are fresh updates coming in right now, which is that the Tamil Nadu government is in a huddle. The Chief Minister has held an important meeting in terms of taking stock of how things are looking in terms of the relief and rescue efforts. Visuals coming in, a video coming in of the Chief Minister holding a meeting in the Secretariat, taking stock of the immediate administrative response. Remember, through the night, that response will continue, where people need to be rushed to hospital, those who are unwell need to be attended to, and immediate medical aid needs to be given to all that have been affected by the stampede-like situation. Those are visuals coming in and updates coming in, which is that the Tamil Nadu government is in a huddle ahead of his visit tomorrow to Karur. The Chief Minister is holding an important meeting in the Secretariat. Those are visuals coming in. Even as updates about Home Minister Amit Shah's response, he's also put out an important message saying he's deeply pained by the tragic loss of lives in a stampede in Karur in Tamil Nadu. In heartfelt condolences to the families of the deceased, pray to the Almighty to give them strength to bear this grief and for the speedy recovery of the injured. So Home Minister Amit Shah condoles the death of those who lost their lives in this tragedy, even as the Chief Minister is taking stock of the situation. Let's get in Saravanan Annadurai joining us for more on this. All right. Yes, Saravanan represents the DMK with us on the broadcast. We're getting all details and updates as far as this developing story and the deep tragedy that's come to light from Karur. Many questions are being asked, Mr. Saravanan, even with regard to the fact that why is it that it seemed that the administrative machinery was ill-equipped to handle or did not anticipate the kind of crowds that turned up at the rally.
It's a very, very tragic incident. Now the death toll is at 33. 16 women have died and 6 children have died. It's unbelievable. It's heartbreaking that so many people who have come there to have a glimpse at their stars have lost their lives now, and they're not here. Few hours back, they were alive, and now they're dead. It's unbelievable. And who's responsible for this? It is the organizers of this roadshow. The problem, the question, see, you have asked a question. Who's responsible? Is the administration ill-equipped? So what was the permission that was given to Vijay? The permission was not for a roadshow. The permission was him to address him at a public place. But what did he do? See, from his Twitter handle, he tweeted that, oh, please, everybody be there at 8:45. And he starts from Chennai at 9 a.m. What kind of callousness is this? And why have they done this? They have done this to grab the eyeballs because they think from the drone shot, the crowd is captivating. To have that captivating shots, they have killed 33 people now.
No, Mr. Saravanan, you're making some very irresponsible statements, and let's exercise some restraint.
Irresponsible? What is irresponsible?
No,
what
I'm
is
saying
irresponsible?
exercise restraint. That's what I'm saying here.
Why are you getting agitated when I speak the truth? Yeah. So the thing is this. Mr. Vijay has deliberately delayed his start. The police did not give permission for him to conduct a roadshow. So why did he delay this? Deliberately? Because he wanted the crowds to be there. The news will be out that Mr. Vijay is coming, the crowds will come. And what permission letter did he give? He gave permission for that a 10,000 people crowd will be coming. If he had come at 8:45, only 10,000 people or people less than that would have been there. But he wanted to milk everything for just grabbing eyeballs. And the question is this, where is Mr. Vijay? Where is he hiding?
No, he is going to arrive in Chennai, but I have a question for you, sir. You are saying the permission was granted was for 10,000 people?
Yes.
30,000 people arrived at the spot. At that location, at that venue, there were 30,000 people.
Yeah. So how did this happen? I'm
asking you, how did this happen?
Because I'm explaining it to you. I'll explain it to you because he deliberately delayed for 6 hours. people from everywhere. 6 hours, oh, Mr. Vijay is going to come here. If some crowd is going to be there and say, people, Vijay is going to come, Vijay is going to come. From 12 a.m., they're standing in the hot sun. This is how you treat your cadres? Is this how you treat the people who have come to see you? 6 hours they have been waiting, and suddenly, because of his delay, this deliberate delay, people, whoever was there, whoever has been coming out of their office, all of them gathered to see him. And this is how this has happened. And the entire responsibility of this falls on the organizers of this show. And Mr. Vijay,
are you
where
saying
is he hiding now?
Okay, all right. So I let you speak. I have a couple of questions. Let's put that out. First and
please.
foremost, you have said the TMK spokesperson, viewers on the broadcast, is saying that 3 times the number of people came than what the permission was for. Permission was for 10,000 people and 30,000 people came. Where were those measures to ensure that crowds can be controlled, crowds can be restricted? If permission was not in place for this larger number, why were those measures not put in place?
Yeah, see, the measures were there for 10,000 people. That's what I'll again put it to you, that if Mr. Vijay has adhered to his schedule of 8:45 a.m. in the morning, then absolutely no problem. Less than 10,000 people would have come. The same thing has happened in Nagapattinam. Nagapattinam, it became a flop show because he adhered to the schedule. So just to grab eyeballs, just to have some graphics, impressive graphics, to say that, oh, Mr. Vijay is having so much of crowds, 33 people are dead now. And it is Mr. Vijay and the organizers of the TVK who are solely responsible. And the priority of the government right now is to ensure that the people who are all there, out there, who are suffering and who are needing medical attention, the entire facilities, the entire medical doctors, the infrastructure that is required is marshaled there. Mr. Senthil Balaji, former minister, is there on ground zero overseeing these relief operations. And the minister, the health minister is rushing there. And Mr. Anbil Mahesh is rushing there, who's nearby. The top cop is there. The chief minister is monitoring this situation by a minute manner. And tomorrow is going to visit there. The immediate concern of the government is to ensure that there are no more deaths, that people who require medical attention are given the top-notch medical attention. That is the top priority.
And that should be the top priority. Absolutely. And that's what we are focusing on as well. But Mr. Saravanan, this entire conversation veered completely towards blame game, political blame game, and very quickly it became about actor Vijay. I want to bring it back to the immediate steps after this tragedy. The Chief Minister will be in Karur tomorrow. Walk us through the next steps in terms of the priorities of the government. Through the night they will be working. What will be those set of priorities now?
See, the priority, that's what the top priority right now is, to ensure proper medical attention. See, we don't know how many people are injured and requiring urgent medical care. So that is being immediately assessed. And if so many hundreds of ambulances are employed, so that if they require a higher care, they may be sent to a tertiary center or to other places where that care is given. That seems to be the top priority, and we are only doing that. The Chief Minister is there in the Secretariat monitoring all this, and everybody else who is responsible there is there on the ground. We will take care. We will take care of all those who are injured. That is the assurance the Chief Minister has given.
Okay, so that's the most important part, which is in terms of the relief efforts, ensuring and prioritizing that the government's efforts towards addressing these concerns and bringing aid to those who need it the most is done in real time. Sam, let me go back to you as you heard what Saravanan was also saying. He's with us as well, which is that very quickly a tragedy of this magnitude turns into a political blame game. Despite we focusing on relief efforts, rescue efforts, very quickly it has now become a political blame game.
Absolutely, but this at a time TVK is yet to respond, but certainly this is bound to become a political blame game, taking into account that the issue of security was raised already. The Madras High Court too had intervened and had made some strong observations which had led to imposition of conditions and the court ordering the Tamil Nadu police to frame uniform guidelines to make sure no political party would accuse the police of discriminatory imposition of tough conditions. At the moment, we'll have to wait and watch what TVK chief actor Vijay would have to respond to these accusations and to the larger tragedy. At the moment, police have confirmed loss of lives touching 34 at Karur. And there's a worry that this could further increase. But it's sad that this tragedy is now turning political. And at the moment, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has arrived at the Secretariat. We expect an official statement giving clearly from government's point of view what went wrong, what is being done, whether the government is announcing any kind of relief for the families of those who have lost their near and dear ones. And tomorrow, M.K. Stalin is rushing to Karur, and they have summoned doctors both from within and outside Karur to make sure those who are being treated in hospital will be given the best possible medical care, and there's no question of the numbers going up. At least they're trying to ensure that they could save all those who are in the hospital. But certainly this raises several tough questions, both to both sides, both to the government, to the police, and to TVK as a party. What measures it had taken to make sure that their crowds will not turn uncontrollable, and was the delay part a deliberate act to showcase, to let the crowd gather in large numbers and to showcase the kind of support he has? Also, tough questions to the police, knowing pretty well that this kind of crowds do turn up for Vijay in the during the earlier public meetings over the last 2 weeks. What measures have they put in place to avert this kind of a stampede? Had they deployed enough number of police forces on the ground to ensure there will be better crowd control? So tough questions. Only a transparent, impartial investigation would find out the truth, and responsibility and accountability could be fixed. But as you said, right now it's also turning political even as the tragedy unfolds.
Turning political even as focus remains in terms of the next steps, priorities of the government, ensuring that through the night efforts are on a war footing to provide relief rescue efforts to all those who need. We're going to get very quickly visuals as well of actor Vijay, who is likely to reach Chennai airport from Trichy. We're going to get those visuals as well. And Sam, it will be extremely interesting to see what will be the first set of commentary that will come in from actor Vijay right after his rally, where 34 confirmed dead at the rally. That's the latest number. Death toll is climbing up, viewers. And Sam, that's the most important part. Death toll has risen. When we started this, when the news broke out about an hour back, the death toll stood at 20. Unfortunately, it now stands at 34. That's the deep tragedy that's unfolding in Karur. And Sam, that's the most important part, that even now we do not know through the night what is it that the final number would be, even as it's still yet to know in terms of how many people who still need those immediate medical attention and are yet to be transported to hospitals.
That's right. Police have confirmed that 34 have died so far, and there is really a big worry that the numbers could go up. I spoke to a top police officer, and that's what he told me. We are very sensitive in reporting numbers. We have to wait for official confirmation before we put up any numbers, but there is a worry that the numbers could go up. Any moment, TVK Chief Actor Vijay would be landing at the Chennai airport. We have taken a chartered flight, and it will be keenly watched what Vijay would have to say. And this is a very, very challenging moment for Vijay, because this is something that was never expected. And how the party looks at this tragedy, that will be keenly watched. Whether he is turning political, is he taking responsibility for this, or would he have anything else to say? will be keenly watched. That we can expect any moment now. But certainly a big tragedy.
When we will get first reactions from actor Vijay. It was his rally in Karur where 34 people are confirmed dead. The death toll has risen, as I said, viewers, extremely tragic. What happened at Karur, there were these thousands of people who were waiting to get a glimpse of their star, their politician, those who were waiting to listen to what actor Vijay had to say. He's been on a campaign trail across the state of Tamil Nadu. It goes to polls next year. Actor Vijay is this big disruptor in Tamil Nadu politics. He's been holding rallies every Saturday. There were ones in Nagapattinam, there were ones in Trichy, there's one today at Karur. It seems that the DMK spokesperson on the broadcast said that the permission was granted for a crowd of 10,000. It seems that the numbers that came in was at least 3 times. At least 30,000 people were there. Many questions being raised. Why were there not strict protocol being implemented to ensure that crowds do not swell further? Why is it that there were no proper, detailed crowd control measures in place? How is it that the crowd became as large as 30,000? And then lastly, when it became a stampede-like situation, when the responses came, were they in time? Was there any delay? Those are questions that we are going to wait answers for, as through the night you will have officials, you will have medical officers working to ensure aid and rescue is provided to all who need that. And Sam, the most interesting and most important aspect would be the first response that comes in from Vijay, because he would be deeply aware of the kind of tragedy that occurred at this rally.
That's right. He would be aware because even during his time on the dais, there were situations of ambulances taking people who fainted. And by the time he would have reached the airport and taken off, information would have definitely reached him about the tragedy unfolding. And his first statement, particularly after this terrible tragedy, would be keenly watched. And that would, in a sense, reveal his leadership. Is he going to take responsibility? Is he going to blame the government, the police? Or is he going to say anything else? It will be very keenly watched, and we can possibly expect for some kind of a response for the ruling DMK's criticism that
okay, those are first visuals coming in. Sam, I'm interrupting you for a second because I want to tell the viewers who are watching this right now, those are first visuals coming in of actor Vijay, who has reached Chennai from Trichy. Since he boarded that flight from Trichy to Chennai, that private flight, the number of dead have risen and that death toll now stands at 34. Those are visuals first coming in on NDTV, viewers. First on NDTV, viewers, that's the visual of actor Vijay in Chennai coming in from Trichy. He'd taken that private aircraft, private jet, and he's left for Chennai and he's there. Those are visuals. He's reached the Trichy airport and as I said, he's come from his rally, which was at Karur, not a short distance from the Trichy airport, and all eyes now on if at all he gives a statement, what first reaction will that be of the TVK chief who was silent on the stampede-like situation that occurred at the Karur rally. He now heads to Chennai and no word yet, even as NDTV is asking when will actor Vijay break the silence as far as this tragedy that took place at the Karur rally. All right, let's go back to Sam for more details. Sam, you were filling us in with the latest updates that you have in terms of efforts that are underway right now to ensure that all relief rescue operations are provided to those who need it.
That's right. The Tamil Nadu government has released details of the kind of intervention and steps being taken. Number one, they are giving treatment to the 46 who are admitted at different hospitals in Karur. Number two, doctors from within Karur and from neighboring districts have been summoned to make sure there is no question of shortage of doctors. Thirdly, at the political and bureaucratic level, besides the local collector, collectors from neighboring districts have been asked to rush to Karur, and ministers, the former minister Senthil Balaji, Health Minister Subramaniam, and Anbil Mahesh Poyamli, the minister from Trichy, all have been asked to rush there. Senthil Balaji is already at the hospital, and he has said Chief Minister M.K. Stalin would visit Karur tomorrow. As we speak now, M.K. Stalin, the Chief Minister, is at the Secretariat, and we understand the government would release a statement any time now, giving from its point of view what went wrong, what is being done in terms of treatment for those injured and any compensation for families of the dead. And more importantly, is the government ordering for a thorough probe, particularly in terms of what went wrong with the lapses either on the part of the police or on the part of the organizers, in this case TVK. All these will be keenly watched, and Vijay is expected to land very soon in Chennai. And what would he say now? That will be keenly watched. He would have known by now that the huge tragedy at his meeting venue in Karur. And what would he say? Would he own responsibility? Would he announce relief? Would he respond in a political way? All these things will be keenly watched. And the larger picture, this was alerted none but the Madras High Court itself when the matter went to the court, especially when the TVK had moved the Madras High Court after the Trichy rally, alleging that the police are imposing impractical conditions for them because of political reasons, that they are rattled by the huge crowd Vijay would draw, and that the court has to intervene. But the court had made some strong observation saying that what if things go wrong? It's also the duty of the state government to ensure public safety, and asked the actor politician to appeal to his cadre that they should not come, particularly pregnant women, women with children, and the disabled and the elderly, asking them to follow the public event online. But things hardly changed. Although roadshow was banned, practically actor Vijay's move from the airport to the venue location every time practically turned into a roadshow because of several thousand party cadre surrounding his convoy and going all along, all up to the meeting venue. And there were massive crowds, issues of people fainting, and in this time it was a 7-hour long delay. He was supposed to come quite early, around 12 o'clock, but he came only around 7 o'clock. By then it was a weekend, huge crowds had gathered, and many tough questions now whether this was done in a deliberate way to delay his appearance at these venues so that there'll be enough time for large crowds to gather, to showcase that, to show how much of huge following he has, and whether the police had done enough. They knew about the rising crowd at all his previous meetings, be it Trichy first week, later in the central part of Tamil Nadu in Nagapattinam. Had they done enough in terms of crowd control, in terms of large police deployment, and did they work together in coordination with the organizers to make sure strict measures are in place to make sure this can be averted? So many tough questions, and we'll have to wait and watch what kind of an investigation would the Tamil Nadu government order to make sure the truth would emerge.
Indeed.
But now all eyes would be on what Vijay would have to say with the ruling DMK putting the blame on him of violations.
Okay, so which brings me to ask Sam, in terms of that huddle that is taking place right now at the Secretariat, who all are part of that meeting right now where the Chief Minister is monitoring the situation in Karur ahead of his visit tomorrow? Who all are part of it? Any sense that we can get? Because that will give us an indication of how things are being monitored in the Secretariat ahead of the Chief Minister's visit tomorrow.
We have been given very limited information and very limited visuals, but I would assume since the Chief Minister has come to the Secretariat, we would have the DGP in charge and the ADGP who has been asked to rush to Karur to ensure that the situation turns normal very soon, and the Chief Secretary and senior officers perhaps to have a video call with all the collectors who have been asked to rush to the collector in Karur, and to make sure to get a sense of first-hand information what went wrong in terms of their statement to prepare, and also to take a decision in terms of whether or not should the government announce a compensation, and in that case, how much? And largely about an investigation that will be keenly watched, and we can expect a statement from the Tamil Nadu government very soon after this meeting. But at the moment, there's no official information in terms of who all are present along with the Chief Minister. We expect some senior ministers as well, but being a weekend, many will be out of station. Normally, they travel to their home constituencies, but I'm sure there'll be a few senior ministers, perhaps the Deputy Chief Minister Udayanidhi Stalin, I don't know where he is, or any other senior ministers available in Chennai this weekend.
So we are expecting a statement from the Tamil Nadu government that will come out in due course of time. The government is monitoring the situation right now. There's an important huddle that is taking place at the Secretariat. The Chief Minister will visit Karur tomorrow. Administrative machinery has swung into action. Questions that are being asked, NDTV is asking several of those questions, and we expect accountability from this system, from the administrative machinery.